Are you ready, the internet? I can't hear you. Oh, I love SpongeBob. Who doesn't? He's quite possibly one of the most iconic cartoon stars of all time, next to Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. I remember back when I was just a kid, I used to watch a lot of SpongeBob, and I mean a lot of SpongeBob. In fact, it was quite possibly the only thing that I watch all the time. But for today, I'll be talking about the 2004 film, The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie. Like the show, this was my jam, as I would always get excited to see SpongeBob's first film. Fun fact, this was supposed to be the end of SpongeBob's journey, but Nickelodeon just won't let him go. So does SpongeBob's first film still hold up after nearly 20 years? Let's find out. Mr. Krabs has opened a new restaurant called the Krusty Krab 2, and SpongeBob is excited that he'll be promoted manager. But unfortunately, Mr. Krabs gives it to Squidward since he's more mature, much to the sponge's dismay. Meanwhile, the evil Plankton frames Mr. Krabs for the crime of stealing King Neptune's crown, and the crab is sentenced to death. But fortunately, Mindy, Neptune's daughter, convinces his father to give SpongeBob a chance to get his crown back from the dangerous Shell City. And so SpongeBob and Dopey Bud Patrick go on a quest to retrieve the crown. However, Plankton has stolen the Krabby Patty formula and is becoming more successful than before. To make matters worse, he uses buckets to brainwash and take over Bikini Bottom. So will SpongeBob and Patrick retrieve the crown and save the day? Now, taking off my nostalgia goggles, I had to say that this is an example on how to turn a cartoon into a full-length feature film. To start with, the film really raises the stakes for our heroes, as not only is one of the main characters on the verge of death, but even our series villain gets closer and closer to the point of accomplishing his goal, which is to steal the formula and take over Bikini Bottom. This is a plot that could only be in a movie, and this film takes full advantage of it. And as the film goes on, it can get surprisingly dark for SpongeBob, especially during the scene where SpongeBob and Patrick are dying. But thankfully, the film never takes itself too seriously. After all, this is still SpongeBob. The film still captures the same surreal nautical nonsense as the series, and it delivers it in a charming way, with playing a great comedy that can appeal to anyone. Like kids can enjoy the goofiness, while adults can enjoy some of the more adult jokes like getting drunk on ice cream, or the Plan Z scene with Plankton. But what this film is mainly about is accepting childhood. You see, SpongeBob really wants to be seen as an adult, so this journey is to prove himself that he can be a mature sponge. But as the film goes on, he learned that there's nothing wrong with being a bit silly and embracing childhood. The characters are still as likable and funny as they were in the series, with SpongeBob and Patrick holding both the comedy and heart of this film. The other characters that I will admit could have a bigger role, like Sandy, while Plankton is at his most evil, which makes him both entertaining to watch and a legitimate threat that you just love to hate. The new characters are great too. You got the harsh King Neptune, who is amusingly authoritarian, Mindy, who serves as a welcoming character who is friendly and compassionate, Dennis, who gives the film a dark edge that SpongeBob is not really known to be at times, and especially David Hasselhoff. The animation for this film is interesting. As this is based on a TV series, the movie has the same quality as the series, as it doesn't have smooth and full of movements like it was from for Disney or Don Bluth. I know that sound a bit harsh, but that's just comparing to what was made. But the animation's not bad. There were some attempts at some cinematic shots and line effects, which are admirable, and it does feature some of the most expressive faces in any anime movies. So, at least the animators are trying to make the most of what they made. Lastly is the music, which is composed by Gregor Norilis. And the man did a pretty good job on the score, especially during the scene where SpongeBob and Patrick are drying to death, which has to be one of my favorite music scores in any movie ever. By being funny, intense, and even emotional, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie is a fun family film that anyone can enjoy. I give this an 8.5 out of 10. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, then this film is for you. See you later.